art students, the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to mix colors with paint. So first off, I always have a cheat sheet, and this will grow as we continue to have new discoveries. But you can use this to help figure out what others have already learned in our class. It is important to note that the actual paint is on here as well as the name. So for example, this one has a T for turquoise, but if you wanted to be fancy, because turquoise is what our actual paint label would say, but cyan is what an artist would call it. And then there's a difference between that, cyan, and blue, which has a B. Now, blue and black are tricky in the worlds of paint because blue starts with BL and black starts with BL. So the way that we tell the difference in between blue and black is actually to label black with a K. So when you see a K, that actually means black. Okay, let's show you how this works. So first off, tilt you down. Okay, there are two different supplies. These are for color mixing and trial. These are for color making for your actual artwork. You're going to get one of our palettes, and then you can use as much of this as you want, this one here, and mix and try and mix and try. So for example, if I wanted to make a green, I'm going to start with what the formula said. So it said if I want a clear green, I use 3 dots of yellow and 1 dot of turquoise. Or no, 2, I gotta read my label, 2 dots of turquoise. Almost all formulas are made with 5 dots. Then, using a brush, there you go, I scooch them together. So notice I kept the dots separate until it was time to mix them together. Now, I might look at that green and love it. Or I might look at that green and say, oh, I don't know, I wish it was more yellowy. I wish it was more yellow-green is the name of it, too. So I'm going to switch out. Ooh, I had a goober on my thing. Get that off of there. And I'm going to do 4 dots of yellow and 1 dot of turquoise. And let's see if I like this one better. Now my brush is tainted, so I've got to clean it off. I like to use a paper towel, and if you get it a little bit wet, it should help. You have to pull it through until no more color comes out of your brush. Scooch all my paint together. And let's see if you can tell in the video. Can you see how this one is just a little bit more vibrant? The colors don't look quite like I see them. Those look muddy to me on my computer screen, but that looks like a really vibrant green. So if that's what I want, once I know my formula, what was my formula? 4 yellows to 1, was it blue, turquoise, right? Or if I was an artist, I would call that cyan. So that means that now I get to switch over to these, okay? I get 1, notice the sign, 3 per wow project. So being very careful, because this is mine, I'm going to label this with my class code, and I'm going to label it with my initials with Sharpie, and this is going to go in our class drawer. Then I'm going to take the bulb and I'm going to squeeze it all the way out, and then I'm going to release. And this is filling with paint. Now you can't always see it because it's paint, right? But I know it's full because see how the bulb got, it's filled with air now, okay? And then I'm going to take it over to my container. And I squeeze it out. Put it back in, release it. Sometimes I wiggle it around to help it, or sometimes it needs help and you kind of lift it up and down. Squeeze it out. This means, okay, so that was 2. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There, it's full again. 3. Now this can feel like it takes a long time, but this mixing paint is like cooking. It is like a science experiment. If we don't have everything exact, then it won't turn out. Now I'm going to do the turquoise. Squeezing out. Then I'm not going to mix with the brush. I am going to mix with a palette knife. So I mix it up. Now every once in a while, this doesn't work, either because the paint was slightly different or your formula was wrong. But when you compare the color that I just made here, let me put a little on this guy, to the color here, those are almost exactly the same, which means if I ever run out, I can always mix more. So we only do 5 bulbs in one container. We then put the lid on it, making sure that my name is visible, and this is for me to use. If I ever had extra paint once I was all done with my WOW project, I would cross my name off and it could get stored there so that other people can use it. With that, happy paint mixing. Bye.